talk about the power of executive presence and why you want to develop your executive presence for the camera. And I want to start by asking you to imagine when you have been at a flea market or a thrift store or a tag sale and you've looked at a whole bunch of stuff. And some of it may seem junky and some of it may seem cool. And you're wondering, is there a treasure in this for me? It's kind of fun to do that scavenger hunt. And very often, it is true that people find genuine treasures. Sometimes things that are just special to them, but there have been people who have found Jackson Pollock paintings and first editions of Hemingway and all kinds of exciting discoveries in these situations. But what makes it interesting is usually those treasures sold for only a few dollars. Why is that? Well, the people who had them didn't know what was there. They didn't know the value of what they had. And this is often what's going on when we are very competent, we are very skilled, we're very committed, but we lack executive presence. People don't know the treasure that we are. They don't understand what we have to bring exactly. And we want to change that for you. So what exactly do I mean when I say executive presence? A lot of people think of it as an intangible that's hard to define, but actually it is definable and there is science behind it we'll be going into later. Right now I want you to think of executive presence as the balance between genuineness and gravitas and poise, grace under pressure. When you've got all those things together, what happens is people want to work with you, whether it's hiring you or promoting you into a new level in your organization, or whether it's following your cause and your message. There's something about people who have this balance of these qualities that is very magnetic. And it is something that you can develop for video, and you want to develop it for video. Unfortunately, you're probably going to have to develop it on your own because although most leaders think that executive presence is very important, they don't always know how to develop it in their people. Trancom Group recently did some research where they surveyed executives through the US and discovered that 77% said that executive presence was crucial for moving people up to the next level of responsibility. But only 33% of those organizations were doing anything to build executive presence in their people. And of that 33%, most of those were in very, very high performing companies. So you may be on your own trying to figure this out. And certainly you're probably on your own trying to figure this out for video. But it's important to do this for video. What we know is we are all doing more video than we ever have before, whether that is a Zoom meeting or an interview over Skype or doing comments for the press or social media. Video is how we communicate now. But video is also often how we are judged now. So Wakefield Research did some studies and they discovered that 24% of the executives that they spoke to had fired somebody within the last 18 months due to a faux pas on video or on a Zoom meeting. And what's even more alarming is 53% of them had either reprimanded or demoted somebody based on not showing up well on a Zoom meeting or a public-facing video. So that can be a little frightening, but the reverse is true. There's a great opportunity here. If that is happening as a detriment to some people's career, think what happens when you're the one that shines. You're the one that shows up with that poise, that grace, that gravitas, and really brings your best self out on camera without feeling nervous or distracted. That gives you an edge that lets people really see you for the treasure you already are.